Hi students, today we are going to learn an interesting topic which is types of respiration. Respiration, there are two types. Number one, aerobic respiration. Number two, anaerobic respiration. I told you there are two types of respiration. Number one is aerobic respiration. Let's see what is aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is a biological process in which glucose is converted into energy in the presence of oxygen. When our body needs energy, this glucose convert into energy in presence of oxygen. Otherwise, glucose breaks down to produce energy in presence of oxygen. That is what aerobic respiration. It is a process. What kind of process? It is a biological process in which what happens? Glucose convert or break down into energy with the help of oxygen or in presence of oxygen. I want all of you to pay attention very close. Okay. Here in the previous lesson, that is digestive system, in the digestive system, we already learned that after the digestion of food, the nutrients absorbed in the small intestine and it get into the bloodstream. This blood carry the nutrients to all over the body, and in the body there are cells, so it reaches to all the cells. So glucose is there already present in the cell. Now in this lesson, respiratory system, here we are learning about aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration, when we breathe in oxygen, that oxygen also get into the bloodstream and to the cells. So glucose and oxygen are there in the cells. Now in aerobic respiration, actually what happens is these cells need energy for their survival. So they break down this glucose which is already present in the cell in presence of oxygen or with the help of oxygen, and then the product which the cells get is carbon dioxide, water and energy. Not only energy they get carbon dioxide and water. These two things they don't need. Cells they don't need. They need energy. That energy they take and they store in the form of ATP. ATP is nothing but adenosine triphosphate. Okay. Now what they do, this carbon dioxide and water which they don't need, when we breathe out this carbon dioxide and water. That is how it is released from the body. Now here second one is anaerobic respiration. We learned already aerobic respiration. Now second point is anaerobic respiration. What is anaerobic respiration? It is a process of breaking down of glucose to produce energy in absence of oxygen. So already after digestion of food, the glucose is there in the cell. Okay. Then here no oxygen. In absence of oxygen, glucose is breaking down. What do we get there? Cells will get lactic acid and less energy. Very less energy will produce in absence of oxygen and more lactic acid. That is what happens in anaerobic respiration. Now when this anaerobic respiration takes place, that is what we are going to see. Let's see when anaerobic respiration takes place and what happens in the body. During vigorous muscular activity, during vigorous muscular activity, muscles need lot of energy. So cells break down the glucose. Cells needs to break down the glucose because they need energy. So here what happens? During vigorous muscular activity, oxygen get used faster. Oxygen supply is less in the body. But here cells need energy. They have to break down the glucose. Glucose already present in the cells. But due to less supply of oxygen, they have to do aerobic respiration. Cells has to do anaerobic respiration. Because there is less supply of oxygen or no oxygen. Then what happens? Lactic acid and very less energy is produced due to anaerobic respiration. So what happens in the body? Here already muscles, vigorous muscular activity is done. So muscle get cramps. Then what we have to do when muscle cramps is there? We massage or we take hot water bath. Then what happens in the body? Due to massage or hot water bath, blood circulation increase. When blood circulation increase in the body, oxygen supply will be there. More oxygen supply. Then due to oxygen supply, in presence of oxygen, again the cells will break down this lactic acid, break down into carbon dioxide and water. This carbon dioxide and water we breathe out. Then muscle cramps release. Understood? Once again, during vigorous muscular activity, muscles need lot of energy. Here during this muscular activity, vigorous muscular activity, oxygen get used up faster. Then less supply of oxygen is there. In this situation, the cells has to break down the glucose. Why? Because they need energy. They have to fulfill the requirement. So what they do? They have to go for anaerobic respiration. In anaerobic respiration, lactic acid and very less energy is produced. Due to this lactic acid, muscle gets cramps. When muscles are cramps, then what we do? We massage or we take hot water bath. So blood supply will increase. When blood supply increase, oxygen supply also increase. In presence of oxygen, again lactic acid will break down. Cells will break down this lactic acid and then carbon dioxide and water is produced. This carbon dioxide and water we breathe out. Then muscle cramps release. Now let's see the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. It is the process of breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen, and aerobic respiration is the process of breakdown of glucose in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration is the process of breakdown of glucose in the absence of oxygen. Glucose is completely oxidized in aerobic respiration. Glucose is incompletely oxidized in anaerobic respiration. The end products formed are carbon dioxide, water and energy in aerobic respiration. The end products are carbon dioxide, ethyl alcohol and energy in plants, while in animals lactic acid and much less energy is formed in anaerobic respiration. Energy is released is more in aerobic respiration. Energy released is less in anaerobic respiration. It takes place in all higher organisms. What? Aerobic respiration takes place in all higher organisms. Anaerobic respiration takes place in lower organisms. These are the differences between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe. Press the bell icon to stay tuned.